well-attended event I've ever been at. Everybody has to come into the room. All right, so Richard runs Amazon channels and the sports stuff at Amazon as well. We should disclose that Amazon is an investor in Cheddar. We're very proud to have you as an investor. But I'm not going to go easy. Amazon is where you get your toilet paper, your groceries, Emmy award-winning dramas, and Showtime. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so explain to us how that all flows together.
Well, so the way we think about offering customers products and services is we want to be a one-stop shop for them and be able to enable them to go and on any device that they're using, buy toilet paper or the next book or start streaming one of our private original shows or subscribe to one of our channels. And so we want to make it really as seamless as possible to interact and get the content and products that our customers are looking for.
And channels is distinct from Prime, where all Prime customers who get the shipping get Man in the High Castle and Transparent bundled in. Channels you pay for separately. How did that thinking come about, and how does that work as part of the mix?
Yeah, so if you taking a couple steps back in terms of what we're doing in video, our video service started really as a video store. And so you can rent and buy movies and buy TV episodes and seasons of episodes, seasons of shows. And we've expanded from that beginning to launch our Prime Video subscription service. And that's available in over 200 countries around the world. It includes Prime Original programming, but includes licensed content as well from studios and networks. But what we saw was we saw an opportunity to add selection for our customers. And if you think about it, John, I know you're a long-time Amazon customer, Prime member. It is kind of one of our core principles to get selection for our customers. We want to have broad selection. And channels was one way we could add selection for our customers who are looking for great programming from Showtime or any of our other channel partners, and then incrementally pay for that without having to be required to buy into a big package, big bundle of programming. And so it's worked really well for us.
But you could have done a Philo-like bundle with the lower cost content, with the HGTV, the scripts, the discovery content, and bundle that into Prime to make it a more attractive offering, as it works with the flywheel now. And there were rumors and speculation that you were going to do a skinny bundle. In fact, I don't know if you actually were or were not going to. Why did you choose not to do that?
Well, I think we definitely want to bring selection to our customers, and there's a lot of great TV content out there. And part of the challenge, though, is making it available in ways that we think increase flexibility and increase choice for our customers. And so we started with the premium channels, started Showtime and HBO. We started adding more and more subscription services. We have over 150 channels here in the United States, and over 60 in the UK, and over 60 in Germany as well. But they're all available à la carte. And so we have not decided to go and do bundling with Prime itself or with any other type of subscription offering. And I think part of it is Prime already comes with a great selection of benefits that are included with membership. So in addition to the shipping, there are various digital benefits, Prime Video obviously on the SVOD side, but there are reading and music benefits. So we feel that the Prime service is a phenomenal offering for customers that has a lot of different types of content and products to satisfy needs. But I think incrementally offering additional subscriptions, we wanted to give our customers a lot of ability to go and choose their own lineup of things they want to watch.
But if I read the tea leaves and I try to understand the strategy, it seems like what you've decided is with the video that's going to be bundled with the Prime service, you're going to put into it your originals, a long tail of content that is cheap and satisfying in some ways. Like you probably can find some house content of some kind on Prime included in your bundle. You're going to not pay to create a bundle with any of the middle of the road unscripted type stuff, the Discovery Script stuff. And you're going to offer consumers the ability to buy the high-priced stuff that you probably couldn't offer for free. So is the Amazon view that basically the stuff in the middle is just not necessary for your customers?
No, it's not that at all. I think we want to offer all the content that is available today to our customers. It's just doing so in a way that enables our customers to select the content they're looking for, and then also just makes economic sense for us. And so we want to make sure we are building, durable businesses, and so and ones that can scale up.
Yep.
And so we continue to add selection, not just in the kind of popular premium side of the TV business, but also in kind of new areas and new emerging digital services. And so, for instance, earlier this year we launched CBS All Access,
Right.
And we're really happy with the Noggin, Viacom, and that service is doing really well. And so we're going to continue to add selection over time.
Right.
And as the rights landscape continues to evolve, and to the extent we can offer a wide variety of channels, I think we will look to continue to do so.
So this is a bit like asking someone if they'll rule out running for president. Will you definitively rule out Amazon launching something like Sling, YouTube TV, or the like?
Well, it's hard to say definitively, to your point.
Yes.
We have no current plans to launch anything like that, but what is really interesting is that the TV industry is continuing to evolve. And you see us in outside the U.S., in Europe, for example, where we've launched Discovery and Eurosport as a la carte linear channels, and we will look to do more of that in the future.
Is Amazon the only one that can really do this? A lot of the complaint around people subscribing to lots of D2C services is, well, how many bills can I have? How many $3 a month can I have? Apple can do it to some extent, and in fact, it sounds like Apple's going to be copying your model with the channels if the reports in the news this week were true. Is it because the consumer has such a deep financial relationship? Is that part? Because I'm buying so much stuff, I have so many things on my Amazon bill, I can go through and sort. Does it open up a channels opportunity for you that another player might not have?
I think kind of a relationship with our customer where they're used to buying a variety of products and services from us, I think is a good thing. But I think the really key thing that we've tried to do is we try to be really customer-centric and content-forward. And so a lot of our customers, when they're looking for content, are searching by titles, or they're looking at different genres, and we try to, through our personalization that we offer, and through the customer experience, we have carousels that are organized horizontally, to really enable customers to find great content to watch. I think that has been a key part of what our customers have been looking for. Instead of kind of rabbit holing into an app, trying to discover what's in that app, and kind of relearning what the UI is of that app, and then saying, all right, let's go to the different app.
But what about Fire? I mean, so where's the Fire Stick, the Fire TV, just selling quite well. We could ask what's the future of Alexa with this type of thing. Where does that factor into this?
It's all part of a broad ecosystem of Amazon products and services, and so our Fire TV line of products is doing very well. And they are great products that showcase our content, we think, in a really great way. And so we think there's a lot of opportunity for people. Some people will want a dedicated app. Some people will just want to subscribe to one or two specific subscriptions and use their consumer app for that. I think that's great. Fire TV offers tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of apps across the entire app store to enable our customers to really pick the way that they want to consume content. In
the last panel, Gary Shannon from Charter said he doesn't want to work with Alexa, and he commented on sort of he referenced like data issues with Facebook and data collection, not making a specific claim, but just saying that wasn't good for Charter. And then Rich from NCTC was the next panel, and he basically said they want to work with everybody. They want to work with Mobi, they want to work with Roku, they want to work with TV, and he thinks that the smaller cable companies are a more experimental group, right? They have less to lose, so to speak. Do you envision a possible future where people get broadband, they get a Fire Stick with their broadband, and that is the interface, that is the experience? I know Roku has that and wants more of that. Do you want that with Fire?
I think that absolutely is a direction that you can see companies going and consumers gravitating toward. Really lighter weight ways to get up and streaming with content. And we're going to continue to partner with a variety of different companies to kind of bring different products to customers. For instance, Fire TV Edition TVs will be sold at Best Buy,
right,
as an example.
2 weeks ago that was announced, right?
A little bit longer ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's a recent announcement, and it's a really big announcement, a partnership that we're very excited about. But it just shows kind of, the different ways that we're looking to make our Fire TV service and device ecosystem available. And I think it'll continue to become available in more ways.
You work on a very senior team at Amazon. You interact with Jeff Blackburn, you interact with Jeff Bezos. In your conversations, I don't even need to ask. I know that you always ask the question, what does the customer want? What will the customer gravitate for? Do you worry about moats and protecting what you have now and fighting the future and fighting the consumer? Or does that never, or would that kind of comment be, that could be thrown out of a room at Amazon?
So we are really not focused on protecting businesses. And a great example from kind of earlier days in digital is Keynote.
Okay.
We've built a really successful and growing and really, quite frankly, much beloved physical books business where we delivered books really quickly, enabled a broad selection and really great recommendations. But we intentionally decided to jump in and design the Kindle device.
Right.
And have continued to iterate on a variety of different devices. And so I think the way we think at our company is we want to really help our customers imagine what it is that can make their lives easier. And we want to go and do that.
And do you guys basically have you settled every intercompany dispute in the service of the consumer? The one that comes to mind is Prime Video is not available on Apple TV. That got settled 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Can you ever think of a case where it's reached an impasse, or do you guys always tend to work it out for the customer?
Well, there's always a balance of considerations. And so we are very customer-centric, but we aren't only going to go and make business decisions that make sense for us. And so we're really happy with our relationship with Apple. And I think Apple TV customers have loved having the Prime Video app on Apple TV devices. And so these are complicated discussions, but in many cases, because if both companies are thinking about what's best for the customer and bring good content to them, we'll get to a resolution.
We have such an interesting group in the room, and I was commenting to Daniel Schneider, who does our licensing deals, that it's a small group, but what an influential group, what an incredible group of leaders from across all the different spaces. How should each of these constituencies feel about Amazon? Roger Seiken from WOW, which is a small regional cable company, how should he feel? How should Charter feel? How should Sling feel, an OTT provider? How should PlayStation View feel, who's both something that can run on your platforms and a hardware competitor? If you had to rattle off 3 different constituencies, and you're here for a reason, you want something to be left with, what would you want 3 different constituencies to leave with? And you can pick the 3.
Sure. I think the kind of key themes I think that are important to hit, regardless of constituency, is we are building a global video service that we believe will be really appealing to a lot of people. It already is used by tens of millions of Prime members every month here in the US alone, and we will continue to invest in that service. And so if you kind of take that from a starting point, there are opportunities to work with MVPDs, as an example, potentially, to get Prime Video to their customers, because a lot of customers are asking for it. Apple TV customers were asking for Prime Video on their devices, which is why we were able to get a deal with Apple and we were motivated to do so. And so I think if you're an MVPD, there are opportunities to work with us because we view ourselves as very complementary. We're not trying to replace the linear TV universe. We, as I said earlier, don't have any current plans to go launch, a virtual MVPD service, a bundle like that. And so I think our service will drive engagement and will drive customers to use your platform more. For network executives and studios and media companies, there are just increasing ways to work with us. We license a lot of programming for Prime Video SVOD here in the US and around the world. We're going to continue to do that in a significant way. And there are ways to get content onto Prime Video or SVOD service through Prime Video Direct, which is really intended to be a scalable, really self-service platform to get content. And the content is incredibly popular with our customers. And then through channels. I mentioned Viacom with Noggin. We launched Boomerang with Turner a couple months ago. And we continue to launch more and more services with large and smaller media companies and grow a subscriber base for them. And so there's just different ways to work with us. And the last thing I'd say is for media companies in particular that have content or that acquire content with international rights, as we think about ourselves, we're very global. Amazon in general is investing heavily around the world across retail, web services, and other parts of our business. And so there are international opportunities as well that can be there.
Well, CBS and Starz, I think, have been very public on their earnings calls about the number of subscribers that you're driving for them. So that's pretty clear. Let me ask you about the Fire Stick, though. If a small MVPD, not even a small broadband company said, hey, Richard, we'd be really excited about using Fire Sticks and Alexas to power, instead of buying a Gerald box or whatever that they use, you'd be excited to have that conversation.
We would absolutely have that conversation.
All right. One other question. How long have you been at Amazon?
10.5 years.
Okay. I've interacted with your company for a very short period of time. It seems like there has been a sea change as you entered media and you realized how partnership-driven the ecosystem was in terms of dealing with people. We did a live shopping show. Cheddar did a live shopping show with Amazon, and I didn't believe it was actually going to be on the homepage of Amazon because it just didn't seem to me that Amazon would actually do that. And then lo and behold, it was on the homepage of Amazon, a live shopping show that we did with a carousel where you could buy stuff. How difficult has it been for the company that's a notoriously secretive, to its strength, focused on itself, we're in Seattle, out in the rain, away from everybody else. How hard has it been to change the culture so that you can do business with people like this in the room?
I'd say that the best way for me to answer that is the Amazon culture, I think, is kind of blown up or characterized in a certain way that I don't think really bears semblance to the Amazon that I see, and I've been part of for years. And what I mean by that is Amazon is a secretive company in terms of protecting data and competitive intelligence. We protect our customers' data. It is kind of one of the most important things we can do. But in terms of competitive intelligence, that's just really smart business for us from our point of view. And we don't look to become really difficult partners or to be challenging to work with. We want really good terms for our customers and ourselves. But we've worked with partners our entire existence, right? And so it started with the book publishers and the trade companies that were managing supplying books. And as it's continued to migrate towards media and entertainment, certainly the relationships have probably changed and continue to evolve. I'm proud to say we've had long-standing relationships with the studios for over a decade now through our video store business. And now we're building, again, really deep relationships with our channels partners and other companies that we work with. And so I hope that our partners see really strong value in working with us and find us to be open to try and find ways to help build their businesses too.
Let's talk about sports, and then we'll open it up to questions. You renewed the NFL deal.
We did.
For Thursday night, and it'll also be on Twitch. And then you just signed up the US Open and the ATP I don't even know, what is the ATP?
It's the men's professional tennis
Okay.
tour.
For UK and Ireland. And then you signed another sports deal a day or two ago? I couldn't find it. I went back and looked for it.
No.
Okay. All right, so that's the precursor. That's the lead up to the question, okay? Here's the question. I discovered Overwatch, okay? How many people know this game Overwatch, all right? How many people know this game Fortnite, all right? Okay. My son got into it. I went into a dark hole in my basement for like 14 hours this past weekend. I stream these games. I stream these games on Twitch, of course. And Sunday night came by, and I emerged with the feeling none of these sports matter anymore. That all these kids are going to care about is Fortnite and Overwatch and PUBG and these games. So why are you bothering with this expensive NFL stuff? Like, who cares?
That's a great question. Well, so I think the answer to that question is we think live sports content could be really compelling content for our Prime members and our customers. And so we are going to really look at opportunities that we think make sense to bring really great content for them.
Right.
Make it available, have them come and really consume and use it, our service to watch. We think there's opportunities for us over time as well to really innovate on the customer experience with watching some sports. And so I think that is really the thinking behind what we're doing. And I totally agree with you. It's amazing what Twitch and others are doing.
And I left out, you bought, so Overwatch is this big video game that they've now made sports teams with. Robert Kraft bought a team of like 24-year-olds that play video games against other 24-year-olds in a stadium that Activision built in LA.
Yeah.
You guys paid $90 million, Twitch paid $90 million. Is that public or not public, or is that speculation? I don't know. I mean, it's publicly reported, so it's either speculation or they pay $45 million a year for Twitch to have the exclusive rights for that. Should that have not been behind the paywall? Maybe that should have been a channel. Wouldn't you sold a lot? Why did you decide to make that free?
Well, there's different ways that we want to make content available,
Yeah.
and different kind of business models work for different customers. And so the Twitch model of broadcasting to many is one that is working really well. And so it's a question of how do we find more really compelling content that drives that engagement, drives more broadcasting, drives more watchers, more viewers.
Do you play any of these games?
I've tried a little bit. I have to say I'm a little older than the kind of core demo probably for folks who are doing it, but it is incredibly popular.
I don't even understand how they play them.
All my friends who have kids of that age are just, that's what they do.
How many of you have kids that play Fortnite? Raise your hand.
A lot.
It's unbelievable. Do you know that now is at 3 million concurrent players on a given evening night? Okay, let's do questions from the audience. Alan's got one. Wait for the, I've been told to wait for the mic. They're very serious about waiting for the mic.
Waiting. Thank you. So I'm Alan Wolf from TV Rev. So one of the reasons a lot of the networks launched these OTT apps is because they had zero data about their own customers. Amazon has more data probably than anyone. So when a CBS or a Turner or somebody comes and strikes a deal, how much data about the people who are watching the shows through Amazon do you actually share with them?
Mm-hmm. So the answer to that question is we share some amount of data around subscribers, performance, streams, that type of thing. And it really is up to the specific deal that we negotiate with each partner.
Gotcha.
Okay, question over here. And then after this guy starts his question, raise your hand so we can make sure we get the mic to you. So that guy in the back is next. Okay, go ahead. And introduce yourself too.
Yeah, hi, Mark Skotovich with Rosenblatt Securities. I'm just curious, Rich, if you look at just the video audience for Amazon, so comparing sort of Prime Video to the Amazon channels, is there an expanded demographic that channels is getting you into that Prime Video isn't necessarily reaching today?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so the answer is yes. What we've found is with our channels business, we can offer really targeted niche programming that that has attracted people to use Prime and to become Prime members even. And so there absolutely is an effect of kind of enlarging the audience of people that use our service.
Any other questions? Where? This sir right here? Oh,
There's a mic over there.
okay, this guy's next right here, and then we'll end.
Brian Rain from Cisco Service Provider Video Group. Twitch, and both YouTube as well has done this, but Twitch has done some very innovative things in terms of interactivity with the audience. How much of that, both business model and the interactivity, is part of what you're going to do with the NFL next year?
We are definitely looking at really innovative interactivity features with Twitch and our Thursday Night Football streams for this season coming up in the fall, as well as for next year. And interactivity, I think, is the core of what drives engagement, right? If you guys ever watch anything on Twitch, you see on the panel the rapid fire amount of commenting that happens, and so that engagement is really what drives people. So we're going to continue to invest there.
Hi, Rich and John. Thanks. Martin Jones from Metro East. As a consumer, longtime Amazon user, I have sort of hit a wall over the last 4 or 5 years on how to use all your different services. It really, from the website to, my daughter works for your company. She's trying to teach me everything. She's in Seattle, works in day one. I don't get it. What are you doing to help with the consumer user experience to make it stickier and easier? Because I think X1 has done a great job of making my life easier from a device and interface platform. I want to explore more of your stuff. I've been a member, but I'm just not using it because it's hard for me to find it.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I stayed at day one as well, so I might see your daughter sometime. But so we continually work on improving the interface of all the different screens that we're on, that our customers interact with, both on web, on living room devices, on mobile, and that goes for video, that goes for our devices ecosystem. And so every year we have different initiatives aimed at really driving the user experience to be easier to use and easier to discover content. So what I'll say is, I appreciate the comment, and it's something that we take very seriously. Give us another try. Continue to work with us. And also what I would say is, please email in feedback you have. We look at customer feedback religiously, and so that helps us really get signals around where we want to take our service. But we have been innovating on really the home screen and other things, other merchandising slots and carousels, to try to drive more ease of use and more engagement.
I'll end with one fun anecdote. I was with a Washington Post executive, and he said to me that Jeff, of course, was never involved in any editorial things, but occasionally he somehow has access to all of the general mailboxes for complaints and issues of different kinds. And then somebody sent in an email with some login problem on the Washington Post app that he somehow got a hold of. And then he emails it to the senior executive with a question mark. How does that happen? And is that true, or is that urban mythology?
It is not urban mythology. I can't speak for the Post,
Okay.
but at Amazon, Jeff does look at customer emails, and all of his leaders do. And the question mark email is one that is meant to make, it's not about trying to point fingers or anything. It's about trying to understand what's going on, and are there ways that we can improve what we're doing for our customers. And it's very effective.
All right, we'll leave it there. Richard, a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for a great session.